come back, I'm not sure. RED went to show him how to get back here.
It was a tough loss after a great season, undefeated run to get here, dominating almost every foe you faced. Do you think, it hurts now, but do you think you'll be able to look back and be pretty proud of all you accomplished at the end of the year?
Yeah, I told the kids in the locker room, not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe a couple weeks or next year. They're going to be able to sit back and reflect and be proud on 13-1 record, section championship, and a lot of great memories created. Not the way that we wanted it to end, but just very proud of the effort that these guys put in all season to get here.
Is it hard when you're trying to settle in the game and then the first two drives the ball goes on the ground, but able to fight back from that? What do you think about how your kids turn things around after a slow start?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the year that we've had so far. That was obviously the most amount of adversity that we faced coming out, and we have been in similar situations where the ball goes on the ground first drive or whatever, and the opposing team starts to move the ball. But for them to come back and take the lead, and actually I think we had a 14-6 lead at one point. Yes. And our guys continue to fight, continue to persevere. There's a point in the third quarter where they said, we're going to line up, we're going to run our stuff, and full confidence that we're going to be successful in the game, even when we were down, I think, 2 scores at that point. The game was going to turn out in our favor. It says a lot about them and their heart and their passion and their belief in one another. So very obviously it didn't turn out that way, and Fort Cherry made a number of plays, and that's what great teams do. But when I talk about our guys and these 2 senior captains we have up here, just so proud of them and what they've accomplished.
Can you speak real quick about each of them and what they've meant to this team?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about JD first. Okay. JD's been a multi-year starter for us, all conference guy on both sides of the ball. He comes in, he sets the tone in the weight room at practice. He's that guy that leads by example. And when we talk about what we want with our toughness and our style of play, he just helps us to emulate that to a T. His whole family's like that. They live, breathe, eat, sleep, breathe, all of that football. And JD is a total embodiment of that. He's a throwback football player, tough, hard-nosed, and just comes to get the job done. Doesn't care about anything else. Just wants to get the job done. A guy that you miss having around. I got some different emotions going on up here. It's gonna be hard to say bye to these guys.
Coach, have you seen that reverse throw on film before?
We did. We practiced it yesterday. But they do a good job of stressing you and taking advantage of pursuit. And it was a great time play. I'm going to try and talk about Brody here. I don't know if Brody comes. I talked about the growth of these guys, and Brody's a total embodiment of that. From where he was as a freshman, he started multiple games for us as a freshman, came back as a sophomore, and he's making plays for us left and right, was an all-conference performer on both sides of the ball. Took ownership of the offense and scheme as a junior, and making corrections at the line, getting checks in and out, play calls to kind of overcorrect for some of the things that I've done. You know, gets us into the right positions, the right set, helps everybody else get lined up. And this year, you know, helped to set the tone of what we want as, you know, as a team and as a group. We're going to come out here and we're going to get to Acrisure. That was our goal at the beginning of the year. Of course, we wanted to go a little bit further than we did. But we talked about the focus, the discipline, and the will to succeed, and the unselfishness of our guys throughout the course of the year. You know, when you get that from your quarterback, everybody knows that sets the tone for the team, and that's what Brody did for us over these past number of years.
His one run especially was amazing. He must have broke about 7 tackles on his way.
Yeah, he's done that. You know, he's done that for a number of years from youth, right, JD? He watched Brody breaking those tackles, and I've got a highlight clip of him when he's, oh my goodness, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, and he's running down the sideline, and you hear, "Go, Brody, go!" And I don't know how many times this fall I've watched that, but it's quite a few. And you know, just a very special football player, throwing the ball, running the ball, defensively. I mean, both of these guys are special players.
How big a play was that fumble on the first?
Yeah, I think you know, that helped to we had that helped to set a tone for them. You know, they were able to kick off, and when you kick off and then you have the ball after 2 plays and you're able to go down and score emotionally for both teams. It's a bit of a sucker punch, and again, we fought back and we didn't allow that to, you know, snowball right away. But for their team to kick off and take the lead, we had something similar against Union a couple weeks ago, and it just gives you a shot in the arm and a lot of faith and a lot of you know, just that roller coaster that you want. So momentum, that's the word that's escaping me right now. Just a lot of momentum for them, so that's huge.
You guys went up 8 points there after forcing Fort Cherry to punt. What did you see after that kind of turned the tides for you guys after going up by 8, and then Fort Cherry was able to answer with 21 to end that first half?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we, after that, and they came back and they scored, and they did a good job. They, you know, their offensive staff, they did a good job of attacking us, and we still came back. We were moving the ball. I think we had 1st and 10 inside the 20. We had a call back for a penalty, and then we had a couple things that kind of snowballed. And with what we do, and you saw with them too, you know, you don't want to get behind the chains, and we've talked about that for a long time. Don't get behind the chains, and during that particular series, we got behind the chains. They were able to get a stop. They were able to go down and score with 2 minutes left. You know, we're trying to answer back. We did that last week very successfully, and it was huge before half. This time they stopped us, and they were able to put together a 1-minute drill. And you know, those 7 points right before half with 3 seconds left. Again, just like the fumble, shot in the arm for them, and you know, it made it more challenging for us. We want to run the ball, we want to control the clock, and then we got to a point where we had to move away from our core identity a little bit, and so that changes things.
When you speak about that core identity and your guys' ability to run the football and just to be able to make the plays that you guys made, could you speak on your team's rushing attack in this one? Obviously, it's the end result wasn't what you wanted, but the rushing attack was there for you guys.
Yeah, I think Susie said at halftime we had like 195 yards rushing. So our guys were able to take advantage of what's given to us. You know, we talked about that and being disciplined and being able to adjust. And, you know, all of them, all the backs, all the linemen, they know what we need to do to make that happen. And so, you know, they do a good job of understanding the scheme and you know, working together. So we weren't surprised to see that success, but again, we gave Fort Cherry too many opportunities, and good teams take advantage of that.
Luke, how about the turnout for an 11 o'clock single A game from both sides? Two small town communities really showing up in full force to make for a great atmosphere.
You know, I didn't see how. I know that we had a lot of people coming down. I didn't see how many people were there, but I know that their community saw stuff on social media. I know our community was behind us. So many people, alumni, family members, random community members that said that they would be down here and they're supporting us. You know, the students, high school, middle school, elementary, how many of them that told me, hey, we'll be down, we're gonna go to the game, we're gonna watch you, good luck. You know, for small schools and small communities, it is special to get here, and you know, that it's a great thing for the school pride, for the school culture, and you know, we're just glad to be in a community that is so supportive of us.
I'm sure one of the main focal point of the game plan, probably slowing down their quarterback Matt Sieg, who had 150 plus passing and rushing, 2 touchdowns both ways. I mean, what's your impressions finally seeing him up close and what he's able to do and how hard he is to stop?
He doesn't need much, and you know, he alone makes you defend the entire field. You know, he's able to get up in there and push for 2 or 3 yards, and then he's able to hit a sweep, and they had a lot of success on the sweep. He's just so fast; he gets out on the edge very quick, and you know, it's a great scheme by them to stress you on both sides. You know, horizontally, and then they're able to take advantage of some vertically, and so you have to defend the whole field. It's tough, and you know, Matt's a good player, and he stresses you for sure. So.